Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadhanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vagadhaviva Samprukta Vagadha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. So we are starting from Sloka 16. The first Nama would be the Aruna Aruna Kausumbha. We'll chant the Sloka first and then we'll look into the meanings. Aruna Aruna, so we'll just, if we break it into individual words, it's a single Nama for the whole line. Aruna Aruna Kausumbha Vastra Bhasvat Kati Tati. So that's how many words there are in that Nama. And like the Kausumbha, I think it's important to just use the Bha, the Mahaprana Bha, Vastra, Bha again, Bhasvat, Kati, Tati. Easier to chant. The next one is Ratna Kinkinika Ramya Dashana or Rashana. There are two different variations for this. So either is correct. Rashana Dama Bhushita. Bhu has to be it's not Bhushita, it's Bhushita with an emphasis. It's an Mahaprana. We'll also probably chant the next sloka as well. Kamesha Jnata Saubhagya Marda Voru Dvayanvita. So the last part of it, the second quartlet, if you see the Mardavoru Dvayanvita, there are 4 terms in it. Mardava, Uru, Dvaya, Anvita, basically. And we'll look at the meaning for that one. So Kamesha Jnata Saubhagya Mardavoru Dvayanvita Manikya Makutakara Janudvaya Virajita. Just leave it there. So let's chant these two first. Yeah, and then we'll go into the meanings. Who would like to chant the first one?
I like to do, Guruji.
Okay, Lataji. Aruna Aruna Kausumbha
Aruna Runa Kausumbha
Vastra Bhasvat Kati Tati
Vastra Bhasvat Kati Tati
Ratna Kinkini Karamya
Ratna Kinkini Karamya
Rashana Dama Bhushita.
Rasana Dama Bhushita.
It is the Sha, like it's in Shiva Sha, not the Sa. Rashanadama Bhushita.
Rasanadhama Bhusita.
So the is the regular Alpa Prana the. The Bhushita is the Mahaprana Bhu. So let's just break it down into Rashanadama.
Rasanadhama.
Not the regular the.
Okay. Sorry, Guruji. Rasanadhama
Bhushita.
Bhushita.
Bhushita, the Mahaprana Bhu.
Bhushita.
Awesome. We'll do this line one more time. Ratna Kinkini Karamya Rasanadama Bhush.
Ratna Kinkini Karamya Rasanadhama Bhushita.
So you're putting the Mahaprana on the, but that's okay. Just keep practicing. We'll do the sloka two times. Aruna Aruna Kausumbha Vastra Bhasvat Kati Tati.
Aruna Runa Kausumbha Vastra Bhasvat Kati Tati.
Ratna Kinkini Karamya Rasanadama Bhushita.
Ratna Kinkini Karamya Rasanadhama Bhusita.
You, the first one was correct. The first time was correct.
Okay, thank you.
We'll do it one more time. Aruna Aruna Kausumbha Vastra Bhasvat Kati Tati.
Aruna Kausumba Vastra Bhaswat Kati Tati.
Ratna Kinkinikaramya Rashanadha. Sorry. Ratna Kinkinikaramya Rashanadama Bhushita.
Ratna Kinkini Karamya Rasanadhama Bhushita.
Awesome. Very well done. So we'll chant the next sloka. Who would like to chant that sloka with?
I would like to chant.
Awesome.
Guruji, just one question on the first line, right? Aruna, Aruna, is it Kaushumba or Kausumba?
Sumba,
In
like
my-
in the Saraswati Sumba, Kausumba flower.
Thank you.
कामेश ज्ञात सौभाग्य
कामेशघ्नातसौभाग्य
मार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता
मार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता
माणिक्यमकुटाकार
माणिक्यमकुटाकार
जानुद्वयविराजिता.
जानुद्वयविराजिता.
Awesome. We'll do it again. The full lines now. कामेश ज्ञात सौभाग्य मार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता
कामेशघ्नातसौभाग्य मार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता
माणिक्यमकुटाकार जानुद्वयविराजिता.
माणिक्यमकुटाकार जानुद्वयविराजिता.
Just one more time. कामेश ज्ञात सौभाग्य मार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता
कामेशघ्नातसौभाग्य मार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता
माणिक्यमकुटाकार जानुद्वयविराजिता.
माणिक्यमकुटाकार जानुद्वयविराजिता.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
My textbook is saying Mukutakara.
Yeah, there are two variations for that too, and it is exactly the same. Makutam also means the kitam or the crown, and mukutam also means the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we'll look at the meanings now. I want to just make sure that we have some connection between what we were doing in the past weeks and connecting to these namas, because it's now in like in Vishnu Sahasranamam we were doing individual namas, and there is a beautiful string of connection that is given as well there. But this is like we are talking about mother in her saguna form, and there are bijaksharas and everything embedded in each of these, right? So now we have been like I don't want to miss the connection from the past. So we have seen mother emerge from the Chidagni Kundam, and we were just doing the Keshadi Padanta Stotram for her. So starting from the Keshas, from the top of her head to the feet, and now we will end this description of the Saguna form in this way at the nakhas, the toenails. So we've done like the three kutas that we were talking about, Panchadasakshari mantra, which is one of the potent mantras and a highly evolved mantra for the mother. There are three sections to it, what we call as kutas, and they are in mother's body, they are in Sri Chakram, and they are in our body as well. That's how it's there is a relation between the cosmic, the universe, mother Saguna form, Sri Chakra form, and what she has taken as shape as the body form as well is also in our body. Just pause everybody, so mute everybody. So there is a connection in all these four. So far we have reached what we said was till the head, it was the first kutam, and then from the neck to the Kati Pradesham, that is the second kutam, and from Kati and down till her feet are the third kutam. So we are somewhere in the Madhyama kutam now, or what we call as the Kamaraja kutam. Also, there are two different names for that kuta. So the previous one, the previous nama that we have done is the Stana Bhara Dalan Madhya Patta Bandha Valitraya. So there are three lines that are formed on mother's kati because of the heavy weight of her breasts. So we have seen what is the real meaning, the bijakshara meaning. for these namas in the last week. And we also talked about the 3 lines on the forehead and the 3 lines on the neck and the 3 lines on the kati. So we have done that, and we have connected those three lines actually mean the Hrilleka, Hreem Bijam, that appears 3 times in the Panchadashakshari mantra. And yeah, so that's an important Bijakshara connection that we have done. And by the way, I was saying 4, but we connect cosmos, mother's saguna form, her mantra form, her yantra form, and our body. So there are 5 connections actually. And then the Vedantic Tattva connection also, which is the 6th one.
Guruji, can you repeat once again, if you don't mind that? What is the cosmos then? The next one?
So the cosmic connection,
Hmm.
mother's saguna form, the like the idol, like mother's idol that we talk about. And then the 3rd one is the mantra form, her bijaksharas. The yantra form, her Sri Chakram. And each of the other, mother's forms have their own yantras, but mainly we talk about Sri Chakra. Then our body itself is Sri Chakram, and our body itself is energy and matter in consciousness combination. So that is the 5th one. And the 6th connection is the Vedantic Tattva connection.
Okay, thank you. So 6 of them is there. Huh?
Correct. And I believe, oh yeah, there is, but also that also connects into this one. So there is the 7th connection, which is kind of the bodily connection, but in a different sense, because there is also the Kundalini connection that we see. There are some secrets and then some that we can talk about. So we'll be talking about that too. This is the 7th connection. So what it says is like Devi, Mantra, Yantra, Tantra, Jagat, Jiva, and Kundalini. So, okay. So that's the last namam that we discussed. Now we are moving into the next one. Aruna, Aruna, Kausumbha, Vastra, Bhaswat, Kati, Tati. So what it actually literally translates to, and what is given by Bhaskara Raya, is her waist is bright with a rosy tinted garment. So the detailed description of this, there is a very short detailed description. We'll go through that. So waist is bright with a rosy tinted garment. That's the first one. But Kausumbha is safflower. So what it's saying is Aruna Kanti and mixed with Kausumbha flower. Just imagine that hue of that color, like, as being somebody who is very fancy, who has a fancy for different shades of colors and saris and things like that. So when I try understand what that mix of that color would be. So Aruna Kanti is red, right? Like the brightest of the reds that we can see, and mixed with the safflower's yellow, the Kausumbha flower's yellow. So that's the kind of shade of the vastram that she is and obviously you can imagine mother is not wearing some vastram. She is wearing the highest of the silks. Just that is what she is wearing, and her kati is being like, is covered with that cloth. Cosmic mother, like the Vishwa Vigraha, the importance of red and yellow is the fire aspect. This is the Agni Bijam that comes into this one, where you see the flames mainly in these 2 shades. And there is an Agni Bijam that
Sorry,
is
Guruji. What flower did you say it was, Guruji?
safflower.
Okay, thank you.
So there is an Agni
That's
Bijam
safflower.
hidden. Sorry, what is that, Bhavaniji? Sorry, I missed your question.
What is the spelling of that flower?
SAF flower.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. Does it
So
have a Telugu name?
one second. I don't know what. Kausumbhavane untavandi. We call it as a Kausumbha.
Oh, you call it Kausumbha. Okay. Okay.
So this is what Google gives me. Nope. Sorry.
Okay.
Beautiful color.
I know, right? Like, just imagine that combination. The brightest of the red with a nice shade of yellow in it.
Yeah, I already started imagining Devi with that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We used the oil, Guruji, for the cooking. Safflower oil is used in the cooking.
Yes, we use for, yeah, correct.
I think in Hindi it is kusum.
Kusum, yeah. And I think we call it the Kausumba.
Oh, okay.
Because so there is a hidden Agni Bijam in this mantra, and that's why those two colors have been chosen, because those are primarily the flames of the color, the untainted flame. If you add, like, some other nitrogen and everything, there are other shades that come up, but these are the two main forms. And does everybody know that when we are doing homas, various shapes are formed, right? Does everybody know that? Have you seen shapes?
Yeah, Krishna and Vishnu, all those, right?
Yeah. So generally, when we do the Chandi homams and like mother's fiercest, form, right? Like, and very powerful form, we see a lot of this, like, huge red and yellow, and the brightest of the flames that come up. Like, it's very powerful to actually see. And the last Purnahutis and some of the chapters, very specifically where the stotrams are done, there is like the fire just, comes up. It's quite like amazing to just be there and watch and feel the energy.
I've seen some people have taken pictures and I've seen that, like the shape of a Devi or her sword or something like that.
Yeah, and there are quite a few shapes. Like I don't know how, like I've done quite a few homas and I've taken a lot of pictures and I've seen so many of her shapes. It's just unbelievable. I'll just ask you one that I've just had to recently send to somebody for their, like, they were doing some research. I will just show you.
And mostly it is in the last, that Purna Ahoti time, I think. Mostly.
Yeah, so this is a homa that I was doing.
Wow, that looks
Amazing.
Wow, like Devi's Rupa. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've had
Can
Ashvaruda.
you send that to the group,
Sure.
Shriji?
Yes, Guruji, please could you share it? Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just share that now. I have, like, Ashvaruda forms, and like there's so many forms that I've seen.
So, Shriji, when they say during the Purnahuti, Devi appeared, is this the way Devi manifests through the fire shapes?
You actually see Devi in so many different forms. The sound energy form, you will see a different kind of a reverberation when we do ghoshams and towards the Purnahuti. Like, you just feel that, like, as in Bhagavad Gita we talk about, the tumulo abhavat, right? Like there is a particular, like, when shankas were blowing, the whole nabham was just, shaking. You actually feel that energy, that sound energy.
Okay.
And then there is a force that you actually feel around, the energy around you too, in whatever, like, usually we do it in open spaces, right? And you also feel that there is a wave of energy going through that area, and in the fire we see different shapes and forms. So, and sometimes there is a rain that happens too. So it's all the Panchabhutas. She appears in all the Panchabhuta forms.
Oh, wow, Guruji. Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's quite powerful. Okay, so the next nama, Ratna Kinkinikaramya Rasana Dama Bhushita. So another beautiful nama. So essentially, she is wearing a Kati Sutram, basically a Vaddanam is what we call it in Vadhyanam, we call it in Telugu, a belt, essentially a waist belt that has Ratna Kinkinis, basically, like, again in Telugu we call them Muvalu. Just small little bells that are hanging from that Vadhanam. So those the exact translation that's given is by Bhaskara Raya. Decked in a belt, beautified with jeweled bells. That's the as is translation. So mother has an abharana tied around her waist, beautified by jeweled bells. These bells make sound. And they actually connect this nama to another nama, which is Ranat Kinkini Mekhala. So the same Ranat, they are actually making sound. And they say that for a regular person who is wearing such an ornament, when they walk, there is a sound that comes from it, like a very minor, small sound. But apparently, when mother is sitting, these actually make sound because they are so elated to be in such proximity to the mother. There is that sound. They're just doing their happy sounds. So even when mother is sitting, these sounds are continuously happening. They connect this to the Anahata Nadam and some sounds that people hear when Kundalini Shakti is traveling. And it's not an experience that everybody feels, even if the Kundalini Shakti is active. It's only a few people who actually feel some external experiences. And these sounds, like, there is a anklet sound, there are bangle sounds, and there are some, like, flute sounds, veena nadam, all of that. So they can hear these kind of sounds, is what I heard. Then there is one more connection that I've heard for this one. Rasana Damam is actually means 16 layers of thread. So what this 16 actually is connected to the Mahashodasi Mantram, which has 16, I won't say 16 syllables, sorry. It's called Mahashodasi. Okay, it has a lot more syllables, and it's kind of broken into segments of 6 that actually end up to be counted as 16, but Mahashodasi actually has 28. So these Rasana Damam means that Shodasi mantra that will create that Anahata Nadam in people where she is active, is how this needs to be translated to or understood.
So is it 16 layers, or as you said, just the layers? Because you earlier said 16 layers, of thread. 16
threads.
Okay.
So when we do the sutram, we actually turn it into 16, right? Even when we wear Kati Sutram, the sutras. So there are 16 layers of threads that form her the ornament, and that is related to the Mahashodaki. And this nama is related to a future nama, which is the Ratna Kinkini Mekhala. Okay, so we'll go to the next nama. Kamesha Jnata Saubhagya Mardavoru Dvayanvita. Now, one important thing. So we finished with Kati. Now we are moving to the lower part of her body, the Kati to the feet now. Which is now you have to immediately think about. We are moving into the third Kutam of the Panchadashi, right? Which is the Shakti Kutam. And the other important reference to this one is, now you will start seeing the Dvaya 2 kind of namas here. These are the Guru Paduka namas. In Sri Vidya, Guru Paduka are the most secretive namas. And not, even in Google, you generally don't find that. So these are, so you will see references to why these are secret. So even here in the namas, you will see that reference to secretiveness. So Kamesha Jnata Saubhagya Mardavoruddvayanvita. Urus means thigh, uru. So Dvaya Uru, basically both the thighs. Mardavam actually means Mridutvam plus Lavanyam. So there are two different things. Mridutvam is smoothness, right? Like, or soft. But something can be smooth, but still not as graceful and elegant. So it's a combination. Mardavam means the combination of elegance and grace and beauty with smoothness. So what the actual translation per Bhaskara Raya is, the symmetry and smoothness of her thighs are known only to Kamesha. Immediately, like, Pativrata, Dharmam, and all of that will come to mind. So what's important to understand is Guru Paduka mantra being unveiled from this mantra till the Pada mantras, as we already talked about. And the importance also is to understand, when we say Guru is only a upadhi, a name and a form. And the example that's usually given is, The knowledge that is being transmitted is the guru, not the person. Just don't take the name or the form. And what I've heard is like, we bring those Ganga water things, right, from Kashi, and we put it in our temples, and we pray to it. So they say, when you're praying to something like that, are you praying to the Ganga or are you praying to the pot that it came in? Like, the pot is the holder of Ganga that has been transmitted from such far off place like Kashi, and is now sitting in your puja mandiram. So the importance that puja that you're doing is to the Ganga. Similarly, the name and form of a guru should not be taken as the guru. The knowledge that they are transmitting, or what is being sent to us from these gurus, is what we are praying to. And the Guru Paduka mantra very specifically says this. And the Guru Paduka mantra also has the Matruka connections. And I'll actually probably can do, maybe I'll just draw what Guru Paduka mantras kind of translate to, and you can tell me if you see, if you have seen this somewhere. When you plot the Guru Paduka mantras, I think I might have drawn too many of these, but generally, okay, don't take the 4 as that. This is how it gets plotted in our body when we actually translate the bijaksharas and where the location of those bijaksharas in our body. That's how it kind of forms in us.
Like a DNA strand, Guruji?
So what's that?
Like a DNA strand.
It's a DNA strand, and it is the Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, the Kundalini transformation and all of that. This is kind of encoded in us. It's not something that we are just talking about a Saguna form. Mother is in us, and it has been proven so many times scientifically. It's just amazing to even, and the more we research into this, it just is so fascinating, very fascinating. Anyway, I'll just mute. So think about the knowledge is what we talk about. Anyway, the third kuta is the highest secret that is not easily available to everyone. Therefore, sadhana helps unveil these secrets for us. And they say only Shiva knows those secrets. Only Kamesha Jnata Saubhagya Mardhavorodvayanvita. So he knows the secrets, and most of this knowledge is all of this knowledge is transmitted to us through Shiva about the mother. So that's how we have to take that nama. So going to the next one, Manikya Makutakara or Mukutakara, Janudvaya Virajita. Again, here you will see Dvaya, and then again relates to Guru Paduka, parts of the Guru Paduka mantra. It says, her knees shine like jeweled crowns or discs or crest. That's the straightforward translation. I won't be able to go into one of the secrets that I kind of heard about this one. So we'll move to the next. Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smara Tunabha Jangika. Smara Tunabha. Sorry, go ahead, Jayashriji.
The knees here, which word corresponds to the knees here, please? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Janu.
Janu. Okay, thank you so much.
Janu, Dvaya is the two knees. Okay.
Thank you.
And Manikyas, we know Manikyas are the precious stones. Makutam or Mukutam is the crown. Akara. Janu is the thigh. Dvaya is 2. Virajita, she's shining, or essentially she is adorned with. So Indra Gopa Parikshipta. Right, 1 second. Let me see. Anitaji, is that you had a question? Shantiji, looks like you have joined from two different devices, or at least joined twice. That's probably why you're having that issue. Do you want to type it in? Let's try unmuting one more time. Are you able to speak now? Try again.
I'll type it.
Okay. We'll wait for you to just probably log back out and log back in.
Verse
Type your
18,
question.
are we learning to chant first?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the reminder. We'll do that. So we'll probably do 18, 19, 20, and then we'll go into the meanings. Because once I go into meanings, I feel so fascinated just to know I keep going with the meanings. Okay, we'll do that. Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smara Tunabha Janghika, the second gha, and the bha is the Mahaprana bha. Gudha again is a Mahaprana dha. Gulpha, again the pa is Mahaprana. And we know that pa is not fa, pa, pha, but not pa, fa. So there is no fa word, the fa letter. There is only visarga followed by a pa becomes that F sound. So Gudha Gulpha. Kurma Prishtha, that second tha. Jayishnu Prapadanvita with a dhirgam at the end. The next sloka. Nakha, second one. Nakha di dhiti. So the kha is a mahaprana, the di is an alpa prana, again dhi is a mahaprana. Sancha again is a mahaprana, sanchanna, namajjana, tamoguna, padadvaya, prabhajala, parakrita, saroruha. So prabhajala, mahaprana again, the bha. 20th sloka. Sinjana Mani Manjira Mandita Shri Padambuja Marali Mandagamana Mahalavanya Sevadhihi. The last dha is a Mahaprana dha. Okay, who would like to chant the 18th sloka with me?
Sriji.
Indragopapar Smaratuna
Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smara. Sriji, I missed it.
Yeah, no worries. We'll stop in the half.
Yes.
Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smara
Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smara
Tuna Bhajanghika
Tuna Bhajanghika
Guda Gulpha Kurma Prishtha
Gudha Gulpha Purna Prishta
Kurma Prishtha
Kurma Prishta
Jayishnu Prapadanvita.
Jaishnu Prapadanvita.
Awesome. So we'll do this one more time. Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smaratuna Bhajanghika
Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smaratuna Bhajangika
Guda Gulpha Kurma Prishtha Jayishnu Prapadanvita
Gudha Gulpha
Kurma Prishtha.
Kurma Prishta Smaratuna Bhajangika.
Sorry, the next line. So you combine those two, 18, first line and second line. Guda Gulpha Kurma Prishtha Jayishnu Prapadanvita.
Gudha Gulpa Purna Prishta Jaishnu Prapadanvita.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, no worries at all. You've done one fantastic. So these are like Gudha, Gulpha are two different words. Kurma, Prishta are two different words again.
Okay.
So Kurmam is tortoise. Prishtam means the back. The shell of the tortoise is what we're talking about here. So Gudha, Gulpha, Kurma, Prishta. If you want to just break that down into 4 different words, that would be where you would do that.
Sounds good. Thank you, Sriji.
Awesome. Thank you. Sloka 19, who would like to chant that one?
I can do Guruji.
Awesome. Indra Gopa Pariksh. Oh, we have done that. Sorry. Nakadi Dhiti Sanchanna.
Nagadi Didi Sanjanna.
Namajjanatamo Guna.
Namatana Jamu. Sorry, Guruji.
No worries. No worries.
Namajanatamo Guna.
Some Padadvaya Prabhajala.
Pradatvaya Prabhajala.
Parakrita Saroruha.
Parakrita Saroruha.
Some will do the first quartlet now. Nakhadi Dhiti Sanchanna.
Nagati Titi Sanjanna.
Namajjanatamo Guna.
Namajjanatamo Guna.
Padadvaya Prabhajala.
Padatvaya Prabhajala.
Parakrita Saroruha.
Parakrita Saroruha.
Awesome. What I will tell everyone is to highlight that first word of this sloka, nakhadi dhiti. Unless you actually do each syllable by syllable, you may put the mahaprana on differently than what it is in the sloka, and it is not very easy. That's why I did not emphasize for you as well, and just to make sure that you will practice it after. Nakhadi dhiti. Nakhadi dhiti. Just do that one word multiple times to make sure that you are hearing your mahaprana in the right places. Shall we do it one more time?
Yeah, Guruji.
Okay. Nakhadi dhiti sanchanna namajjanatamo guna.
Nakadiditi Sanjanna Namajjanatamo Guna.
Padadvaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha.
Padatvaya Prabhajala Parakrita Saroruha.
I don't know, for some reason I actually put an extra emphasis in front of I don't know why I did that, but it should be Padadvaya Prabhajala Parakrita Saroruha.
Padatvaya Prabhajala Parakrita Saroruha.
Awesome, that's fantastic. Now we'll do the 20th sloka as well. Who would like to chant the 20th sloka?
I can.
I'll do. Oh, sorry.
Sinjanamani Manjira.
Sinjanamani Manjira.
Mandita Sri Padambuja.
Mandita Shri Padanbuja.
Marali Mandagamana.
Marali Mandagamana.
Mahalavanya Sevadhihi.
Mahalavanya Shevadihi.
Yeah, it's also like, I probably did not get the sir right, and I actually heard you say sha, and I probably said as closer to sir, like a Saraswati sha, sir. This is the sha, right? Like the Shiva sha. So we'll do it one more time. Shinjana Mani Manjira Mandita Shri Padambuja.
Shinjana Mani Manjira Mandita Shri Padanbuja.
Marali Mandagamana Mahalavanya Sevadhihi.
Marali Mandagamana Mahalavanya Shevadihi.
Do it just one more time.
Shriji, in the first line, the Mandita, is it Harsa or Dirkha? Mandita Sri Padambuja or Mandita Sri Padambuja?
Mandita is the Hrasvam.
Hrasvam, okay, thank you.
Chinjanamani Manjira Mandita Shri Padambuja.
Shinjana Mani Manjira Mandita Shri Padanbuja.
Marali Mandagamana Mahalavanya Sevadhihi.
Marali Mandagamana Mahalavanya Shevadihi.
Awesome. Thank you. Shanti ji sent her chat message about the question. What does the word bhushita mean? The bhushita means somebody who is adorned with these jewelry. And what does anvita mean in Mardavorid Dvaya Anvita? So that's a very good question. Let me just find an answer for you. I don't know why it's not occurring in my head immediately. Anvita. Accompanied with or connected with, possessing of. Somebody who possesses. Like some things like, virajita, that sort of a meaning. Thank you. So we have 3 minutes, so maybe we can complete one nama. So we were doing the Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smaratunabha Janghika. Jangha means calf muscle. So we are talking about mother's calves, and it's her calves are like the sapphire-studded quiver of the god of love. Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smara Tunabha Jangika. Manmada's sapphire-studded quiver, that's what they look like. And Shankaracharya describes that Manmadha's arrows didn't work on Kamesha. So Manmadha left his quivers. He came to the mother and said, Mother, I can't really do anything. Like, I'm not able to move Kamesha. And he put his quivers and as mother's calves, and that worked, is how Shankaracharya describes in our Saundarya Lahari. I think we can do the next nama as well. Guda Gulpa. Gulpa means ankles. So Guda Gulpa means, so here we are actually starting, important to note that there are two namas in the second line of the 18th sloka. Till 17th sloka we had only one namas. In the 18th sloka first line is also one nama. In the 18th second line, Guda Gulpa is one namam, and the Kurma Prishta Jaishnu Prapadanvita is a second namam. So Guda Gulpa are rounded ankles. These are Guda because they are secret and not visible as a sari is covering until there, or because the mother is in a Sukhasana position or Padmasana position. Therefore, the rounded ankles are not visible. And this has to, as you are seeing from the Urudvaya and the Makutakara Janu and then Jangha, all of these are secretly covered. And then we were talking about the Gurupadaka mantras, right? Now they are saying is the secret most is they are not even visible, the Guda Gulpas, because mother is sitting in a Padmasana position. It's not visible for anyone. Then the next one, Kurma Prishta Jayishnu Prapadanvita. Kurma Prishtam is the shell of tortoise. Kurmam is tortoise. Prishtam is the back. So shell of the tortoise. Prapadan. So what they're talking about is the soles of the feet are raised a little higher, just like the tortoise shell. But the mridutvam of the mother, not that the shells are hard for a tortoise, right? So arched instep like the back of a tortoise is possessed with the instep arched like the back of the tortoise is what Bhaskara Raya says. And here there is a secretive Mahavakya that I am able to share. Prapada means, pada means words, prapadam means great, or great words, or prapada means Mahavakyas. In Mahavakyas, like everybody knows, these are the Brahma Jnanam related Vakyas that are stood across all the Vedic portions, especially a lot more in Upanishads, right? So these are secrets, as we know. So during Purna Diksha, so there are levels of Sri Vidya that we do, and there is a final Diksha where the Mahavakyas are given as mantras for people who have reached that stage. So these are the secrets, the Mahavakya secrets are given to somebody who is getting Purna Diksha. Therefore, the secrets in the Vedas are revealed to those who reach mother's feet or get Purna Diksha. That's the inner meaning for this one. The third meaning is Kurma is a tortoise, and we know the Mahakurmam is Sriman Narayana himself. So Mahakurmam as the basis, as the substratum of the universe, and mother is the Sarva Loka Dhari, or somebody who protects. So Kurma Prishtam is below all the lokas, as we were just talking about in Vishnu Sahasranamam as well. He is a substratum of everything. On top of that, there is this entire universe formed of the mother. So essentially, you can take it as like a vertical saguna form as vertical, or you can take it as a substratum from the original God's particle and the energy coming out as the Big Bang. So either this or that. Essentially, what it means is on the Kurma Prishtam, where the Narayana is the substratum for everything, and mother is the manifested universe. She is the Sarva Loka Dhari. That's the meaning until this one. So we are at 10:47. We'll conclude with there are any thoughts.
What is Jayishnu means?
Okay. Jayishnu is something like, excelling lot more than that. There are a few words we were discussing previously. This is the analogy where, because we are not able to talk about mother's charm in any better way, this is the closest analogy we can get to, but she is way beyond this. So Jayishnu is lot more than, excelling than.
Jayishnu, because Prapada means Mahavakyam, right? So how does it relate? Jayishnu.
So the Kurma Prishta's Jayishnu. So they are saying it's like a Kurma Prishtam, but it is much more than that. And Mahavakyas, I can simply say Tattvamasi, but there is a lot more to understand what is in the Mahavakyas in order for it to make sense. Right? So what is the highest of the knowledge that you can get from Mahavakyas? For any, there is level 1, level 2, level 3, even in the Mahavakyas, in our levels of understanding of it. There is the what we call as the Aparokshanubhuti and the Parokshanubhuti. Just 1, 2 layers that I'm talking about. So somebody who can get this Mahavakyas intellectually, they can understand it, but they cannot experience it as aparoksham. Like, it's they are still maintaining that Dvaita Bhavana between God and themselves, or the Jivatma and the Paramatma. But some excellent, like, Siddhas and Rishis may be able to reach that stage of they are unable to see that difference anymore. So they are nothing but the Bhagavan's reflection themselves. So levels of understanding. So Jayishnu, how do you get the highest form of even getting the Mahavakyas? That you get by reaching mother's feet. Does that answer your question?
Writing it down, sorry.
No worries, no worries.
So Gula Kulka is one nama, and then Kurma Prishta Jayesh, that is another one, correct?
Correct. Correct.
That's right?
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Any other thoughts before we conclude for the day?
Yeah, whatever you said.
Will this be in our recordings in the Google files?
Yes, actually, for the new WebEx account, I'm thinking like I have the cloud recording that's happening. So they're not sending me the cloud recording until like 24 hours later. Like they're saying, like, wait for 24 hours. So I'd rather just today it is recorded on the cloud, so it may be a little delayed to send it to you. From next week onwards, I'll just record it onto my laptop and upload it to our Google Drive.
Shriji, in the past, when I've looked at the Google Drive, I've not found the meanings, only the chantings. Are the meanings there as well?
Yeah, so these classes are recorded all the 45 minutes, Taraji. So I'll send you the folder one more time. So there are individual recording of the chanting, and there is a class recordings folder, and in that I'm recording all.
I see. Thank you.
Guruji, so now we are now the Sinjana Mani, we have stopped there over there.
So for chanting, we have stopped at we finished sloka 20. For
Okay.
meaning that we have to go from 19th sloka, the first nama.
In the 19th sloka, on the second line, it is Samajana Thamoguna or Namajana Thamoguna, because in my thing it is saying Samajana Thamoguna.
I'm trying to think samajjana how that would work. So I'll have to dig a little more if that is a valid. Maybe it's valid if it's in a book. I just have to figure out what that means. Namat jana means namat jana. Those janas who are doing the namam or those who are doing namaskaram to her is namat jana. Yeah. So it essentially is saying for those people who are now doing namaskaram to her, their tamogunas will be removed. So now I have to kind of figure out how samajjana would actually fit that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I thought there was one more thought somebody wanted to share.
Yeah, the last sentence is just now we discussed, right, about the Jayishnu. So that means getting to the highest form of Mahavakya, we need to attain the Devi's feet, right? Correct? I mean,
yeah.
Oh, thank
yeah.
you.
Reach
Oh,
Devi's
got it.
feet. Yeah. Yeah. And reaching Devi's feet has multiple layers, right? Like, there is a Saguna form that you can reach Devi's feet with that highest of devotion and what generally is taken as bhakti, which I personally don't just say bhakti means a Saguna form of puja. So that's one form of that, or getting to the core of or to the substratum of the universe, understanding where all of this universe has led to and doing inquiry into it and building devotion because of the immensity, like we were talking about a few terms in the past class as well. Getting to the core, understanding that is also going to help us understand the highest level of Mahavakyas. And there are a few other meanings to it. Again, we can go to a tantra meaning, there is a yantra meaning, there is a mantra meaning, and all of those. Okay, sounds good. We'll conclude here with our Shanti Mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarvam Sri Paradevatarpanamastu. Thank you so much for your time. It was so much fun to have nice chat with you. We'll catch up next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Nice to be back with you, Guruji, with this class and my classmates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Sriji, Sujata here.
Sujata.
The chanting class today is at 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll see you.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Sounds good.
We'll see you, Guruji. If
See
you
you, yes.
have the address, I have also missed the address. If you can send the address to me.
I sent it to you.
Okay, thank you, Guruji.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shriviji.
Yes, Srivijaji.
Yeah, I just have a question. Like when you finish Vishnu Sahasranama, you say Sahana Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. For the Sahana Bhavatu. Any why? I mean, is there anything specific or you just say it?
I say it depending on what actually I feel I'm praying for and what I'm giving this, like, what Shanti I'm expecting from this, class that we have just had and what the energy should be used for. And sometimes I generally don't have any differentiation between, and I do the Purnamadam, Purnamidam. When we talk about very, like, the consciousness and all of that, I just make sure that I chant that. So sometimes it's the Loka Kalyanam, Shanti Mantram. There are different types of Shanti Mantras. I'll speak about that at some point.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.